Without any delay, let me introduce our next speaker for Corporate and Economic Law, Sri C.S. Jayaraman sir. A name reminiscent of uncompromising quality of teaching, unparalleled commitment to subject, excellence, and epitome of knowledge, experience, expertise, and commitment. Sri L. Jayaraman sir, a Master in Commerce and fellow member of ICSA. As a professional teaching career spanning over 23 years, has been conducting regular classes for all professional courses, Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, Pune, and Ernakulam, and through his teaching touched upon and transformed directly or indirectly the lives of nearly 97,000 families by doing his bit as motivating faculty. In developing nearly 97,000 professionals, be it CA, CS, cost accountants to the corporate. It's my pleasure for having welcomed you to the session. Thank you so much. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, my dear students. It is my proud privilege and honor to be addressing the future chartered accountants. You are in the last stage now, just one or two groups, you are going to become a chartered accountant. Now, I've been in the field teaching the students almost now for last 30 years. If I say 7 or 8 years as one generation, I have now taught students, particularly for CA, in the last 4 generations. If you ask me what is the difference in the pattern of examination, the pattern of students' preparation and many things, I would say first and foremost thing I have observed is conceptual understanding of the subject is very, very important. I am restricting my discussion only with reference to corporate law paper. Now, the old pattern has all changed today. I'll put it bluntly this way. Suppose you divide the entire topic of corporate and economic law, say, into 500 topics, and each topic, let us say there are 3-4 subtopics, and each subtopic, let us say there are 10 points. The paper setter, what he does, he will pick up the 6th point, 8th point, and 9th point and make it a question. Therefore, now, first page to last page you are to read. The concept of important questions, all that has completely evaporated. So no more by hearting, no more just clamoring all the questions and answers. You must enjoy concept and concept alone is what the institute is emphasizing. Because the industry's demand, the industry's thinking about a chartered accountant has quite substantially changed today. So conceptual understanding means the more interest you are to take in the subject. You are at the final stage. The moment you develop interest, everything will be under your control. I repeat, everything will be under your control. How do you develop interest? Come on, go deep into the subject. Enjoy the subject. Just as you watch cricket, just as you watch a movie, how much you concentrate and focus, that much focus is very much required. So no more by hearting, no more bloodied memory techniques. All that is not going to help you in any way. You must enjoy the subject. You must read the subject very much. Second, very simple point I thought I should tell you. Sir, what is the easy way to get through CA final? I tell you the most easy way to get through CA final. Hard work. That's okay, sir. We'll put more hard work and all that. Any other easier way of getting through the examination? More hard work. Sir, the easiest way, hardest work. This is the equation in front of you. That's it. That's it. You have to go through the entire material, the entire syllabus, the case laws in the subject, the department clarifications, the basic understanding of the basic law, comparison with the other law. These are the 4 focus areas on which question papers will be set. So therefore, along with the hard work, you must also combine with smart work. You must go into certain areas where it will attract the paper setter particularly. Don't leave any of those areas because the paper setter is around you. He knows the student psychology. He will set the paper in such a way that whatever you leave, only try to come in the examination. Now, before going into this further, I would like all the students to practice Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. That's it. No other yogas are required. Karma Yoga, do your duty, sit across the table. CA doesn't require any intelligence. We are all born intelligent. Now that you are cleared your inter, you are cleared your IPCC, your intellectual level has been established. At final level, what you really require is consistent hard work. You have to sit across the table. From today, you have around 50 days, quite sufficient. Sit across the table, concentrate very much, put in the effort, karma yoga, karma yoga. Then pray God. Praying God alone will not help you. God will not come and write the examination. But having said that, having done your duty, you go to the examination hall, then you pray, automatically God will come within you and write the examination. That's it. There's no magic here. The other point I would like to emphasize very clearly is the time management in the examination. This is where I find many of the students miserably fail, particularly at the final level. Now, many of the students say, sir, the question paper was quite easy, but time was not sufficient. Time was not sufficient. Please understand one thing. Now, 100 marks, 180 minutes is the time which is available to you. So, proportionately mark it. If you are writing a 5 marks answer, 8 minutes is what you have to write. Now, if you are writing something more than 8 minutes, that means you are slightly deviating your answer into irrelevant areas. Now, the paper setter will give the question keeping the time factor in mind. I would like to tell you certain sentences, certain phrases, which you please concentrate on that. Now, we want precise presentation. We don't want story, screenplay, direction, music and all that. Write the relevant theory and properly present in the examination. Now, the paper evaluator has the key. The main points are given there. Put it this way. Now, don't unnecessarily write many issues. We don't look into what you have written. We look into what we want. Please write relevant answers. Don't write whatever you know. You please write what we want. That is important. Read the question very carefully and relevant answers you must write. Now, there are many rumors at final level. They say that, marks are not given, this, that and all. Not at all. Why the paper evaluator will deduct marks? If you properly present, full marks will be given. In corporate law, I have seen many cases where students got 80s and 90s, though it is a theory subject. I'm not joking. So therefore, what is very important is you must read, no selective preparation and all, to read everything and then prepare thoroughly. Right. Now, when you start writing, the general tendency will be first 10-15 minutes, the tension level will be there. The tension level will be there in each and every student. Therefore, I would request simple questions you start writing first. Now, most of the questions which are given at CA final examination, apart from the multiple choice questions of 30 marks, they are all divided into 3 marks, 5 marks, 6 marks questions now. The whole trend is slowly changing. 2 marks, 3 marks questions are become very popular. That means you have to properly present in 2-3 sentences. That's all. Do or die is the situation which happens. Now, many of the students are under very wrong impression that all the case laws on the subject you are to read. I don't think so. They are all practical questions which are given in the examination. Practical application of theory questions is what is given in the examination. This you must understand. Therefore, when they give a question, you first write the relevant theory. Don't jump into the answer. It's not a precis writing. If it is a 2 marks, 3 marks question, at least you have to write 5-6 sentences, relevant sentences. This you must know very clearly. Next. Sir, the portion is so vast. Many students come and ask me, sir, how to remember? How to remember? I don't think remembrance should be a problem. When you take interest in the subject, automatically you will remember. That's it. When you go to a movie, will you forget a story? Will you forget a song sequence? No. If you don't focus, then probably you will forget. Therefore, how to remember? Today when you read, first time you take first revision or first time reading, you take half an hour. It doesn't matter. Half an hour for about 10 points. Try to understand everything. Then after 10 days, when you open the book and see, out of 10 points, If you are able to remember 2 or 3 points, I would say your memory is very good. Then how to remember all the 10 points? You have to revise 2, 3 times. You have to revise. And it's not by hearting. You don't have to remember the sequence. Once you see a question, automatically the fact you have concentrated and read will come to your mind. So therefore, today you start preparing, not before the examination. Today, spend about 12 hours, 14 hours. You concentrate and prepare today. That's very, very important. Now, 6 hours sleep is necessity for students like you at your age. 7 hours is comfort. 8 hours is luxury. No more comfort and luxury. That means the remaining 18 hours, if you leave 2 to 3 hours for your routine works also, 15 hours is now there at your disposal. So the next 15-20 days is going to be very crucial. Concentrate on that. Read. Nothing is going to happen. Sir, mera dimag kharab hoga. Nothing will become kharab and all that. Just concentrate. Change your topics again and again. That's it. Utilize full hours. Practice. That is important. Now, how to do the time management properly means you have to practice model papers. That's important. Now, the time management, again and again, I am revising. That's very, very important. Now, there is another very interesting point I found out was just 1-2 days before the examination, there seems to be a very unfortunate tendency among good students also to go on revising the entire subject. Where is time available? Where do you revise the entire subject? Not required. If you have done 4-5 revisions much before the examination, last 2-3 days before the examination, please keep calm. Confidence is something very important. Not that you will just forget things overnight. If you have read it, you will be able to present it. Why unnecessarily, you do night out for the next examination and you tend to sleep in the examination? Don't do all that. Last minute, what is the point in preparing? What is the point in revising? It's all quite psychological. Once you sit in the examination, whatever you read, even 10 days, 15 days back, automatically you will remember in a calm state of mind. So don't unnecessarily worry about all these fetish issues as such. So there's no question of you forgetting it. If you, at the time of preparation, if your focus is, definitely you will be able to remember. This is the most important point. Then another thing I would like to be very specific, no selective preparation. Please, I repeat again, at final level in corporate law and other papers, there is no such concept called important or unimportant questions in a professional examination. How many simple questions they are given, So therefore, don't just concentrate on few sections. There's a tendency among the students to concentrate only on loans to directors or related party transactions or disclosure of interest or some current account transactions, capital account transactions, while the focus of more questions may be on those topics. Now, there are many, they will spread over the questions. Remote questions also, remote topics also, questions will be asked. Therefore, remove from your mind the idea that we will focus on certain areas. It will be a crime if you leave even a single topic, because we know where you will read, where you will not read. So this is the magic for success. No selective preparation. 100% you must prepare. Not a small topic you leave it. Because I've compared last 20 years, 40 sessions question papers, we find in most of the cases only about 30-40% questions are given for important areas. Therefore, don't depend on choice. Choice is only to wipe out your tears. For example, they give one question, say total is about 14 to 16 marks or even 10 marks. Now, 1A, the question will come in Companies Act, 1B in FEMA, 1C in Securities Contract Regulation Act. So how will you leave it in choice? And other thing, so therefore now you cannot technically really bifurcate Companies Act 60-70 marks, the other acts 30-40 marks like that. They'll be all intermixed, interspread. So I would not advise any student to leave any small topics. So prepare yourself for 100 marks. So when you write in the examination only for 70, 80 marks, then you get about 50 marks or 45 marks. That's percentage wise is very high. So prepare for 100% and then write in the examination also 100% marks. 100% you must attempt. Don't leave any questions. Sit in the examination for full 3 hours. Read. There is no negative marking. Therefore, don't just come out after the last half an hour before and all that. So when 3 hours are there, you prepare in such a way that you present and utilize all the time of 3 hours. Another small issue I thought I should bring to your notice is that this is a very interesting point. 1 or 2 examinations first you will attend, or maybe one particular exam you are not performed well. Maybe you are likely to get around minimum marks only. Then your confidence level goes down and you don't try to attempt the next 2-3 papers. Don't do that. You go and write all the examination irrespective of what you have performed in the first or second or even third paper. So therefore, sometimes it happens, some of the papers may be tough, but most of the cases you will get 40 marks. Therefore, attend all the papers, sit for 3 hours. These are certain basic things you must remember at your final level when you prepare. Then, no fear. Why should you fear? When you start preparing now, when you do your duty properly, fear is the worst enemy of mankind. Challenge the examiner. Have self-confidence. Say, I have already prepared. Now why will I fail? I will not fail. God is with me. I have spent 12 hours. I have spent 14 hours. Therefore, never fear. Never cry. No boy or girl must cry. In order to cover your own patent inefficiencies and deficiencies, you use crying as a mechanism. Why should you cry? When you are done your duty, God will definitely help you. God has to come and help you. Therefore, you put in the effort. Your duty comes to an end the moment you put the effort. Automatically, the paper will be quite easy. Then, the other point I thought I should bring to your notice is, there are a number of case laws. I am restricting my discussion only with reference to corporate law. There are a number of case laws. Now, some of the case laws are relevant, particularly Supreme Court cases and certain cases specified here and there. They are very relevant. How to remember the names of the cases? Not required. In corporate law, I don't think any paper evaluator has reduced marks just because you have not written the names of the cases. How will you remember thousands of names of the cases? The contents are very important rather than trying to remember the name of the case. Section numbers. As far as company law is concerned, my dear students, at final level, you ought to remember the section numbers. No excuses. I have seen in the last 2-3 times, the trend is questions are given based on section numbers only without disclosing the contents. Therefore, once you start practicing, obviously you will remember the section numbers. So don't bother much about that, but you must not ignore the importance of section numbers, because section numbers form the basis when they set the questions. Now, in the Companies Act portion, you don't find many amendments in the last 1 year or so. Maybe a few amendments are made. It was only that the old amendment, it has expanded, and again they have brought in new ordinance. Maybe some of the penalties and certain things have changed. So otherwise, you don't have to worry much about the amendments as far as Companies Act portion is concerned. Yes, a new unfortunate trend is lot of penalties are given in the examination. You ought to remember at least certain important areas, and lot of figures also you ought to remember. Now, what is the paid up capital, or what is the turnover for starting audit committee, when you are to appoint a women director? Like that, if you segregate and see, there are about 28 to 30 figures in the Companies Act. When you are to appoint this committee, when independent director is to be appointed, please go through all those figures. and one or two small amendments have been made in company secretary, secretarial audit when it is required. All those changes you please go through. Now, you should also focus more on the other acts, which has about 30 marks or so. Now, SEBI guidelines have been removed from your syllabus, but please concentrate more on SEBI Act and insider trading, including those penalties. And there are certain dry areas in the SEBI Act, dry or wet, you have no choice. Therefore, in the SEBI Act, the powers of the central government to make rules, bylaws, all those areas, you will have to focus on that. Then similarly in the Securities Contract Regulation Act also, with focus on corporatization and demutualization. Now this Foreign Exchange Management Act, you are aware, now three small topics have been included in your syllabus, that is imports regulations and also external commercial borrowings and also joint ventures, wholly owned subsidiaries setting up abroad. External commercial borrowings, the guidelines have been changed. Please go through your RTP. They have simplified guidelines there. Please go through all that. That is very, very important. Then, this in the SEBI Act, also this NODR guidelines are there. The guidelines have been changed. Some very important areas have been introduced. For listed companies, the LODR guidelines are important. We expect some questions in this particular area. Then, I would not like to comment on that. Now, very unfortunate that we are all suffering because of the corona effect and all that. From the student perspective, convert this problem into a blessing in disguise. Now, for the last month, you have been indoors. You are not allowed to venture out. Now also you focus, so that now diversions will not be there. Just concentrate, just focus, spend a lot of time in revising, lot of time in reading what you have already read. So take advantage of that. Then come to MCQs. Now, compared to the other faculties' perception, my perception about MCQs are totally different. Now, we are not going to copy MCQs from any standard books which are available. That MCQs which they have, private authors which they have written, or for that matter even institute has written, they are only models. We are not going to have repeat questions. If you read 600, 700 or even 1000 MCQs, we will create 1001, 1002 and 1003 question in the examination. So I personally feel a few MCQs you can practice only to know the pattern as such. MCQs will be derived from theory only. If you are perfecting concept, if you are perfecting theory, that is enough. So you don't have to spend time separately for MCQs. It is not like CBT level where we had earlier, where we used to practice about 5,000, 10,000 questions and we used to get majority of questions from there. This is a final level. The ball game is totally different. The writing on the wall by the institute is very clear. No MCQ questions which will be repeated. Every paper setter will prepare a new MCQ question based on theory. So no second opinion on that. Now, when you take up MCQs, that's all individual perception. But initially, after half an hour or 1 hour after writing 1 or 2 questions, look at MCQs. First, when you are confident, finish off all those things. And in MCQs, there will be a lot of time saving. Because you get it, otherwise you don't. So out of 30 marks and 30, maybe 40 minutes available to you, or for around 45 minutes available to you, that excess time, whatever you get, you can spread over to the other answers. Okay? Then, some students were asking me to what extent joint study is relevant. Yes, joint study at final level is very, very useful. About 4 or 5 students, not more than that. But one big issue in joint study is all the students should be of equal caliber, your friends, and you must have an unwritten rule that you should not discuss unnecessary issues and waste the time. In joint study, the point is you can exchange views and ideas, and fatigue will be reduced to a very great extent in joint study, because you all get up early and join at 6 o'clock in the morning up to night 10 o'clock with some breaks, half an hour, 1 hour here and there. You can sit across the table and read. Take advantage of this joint study. Okay, then the other area you may feel that it is irrelevant, but very much relevant is this food. You have to be very careful now. No more marriage foods and all that. Simple homely food only you take. Do some regular exercises as such, because health is very important. You get some problem or some fever and all, 1 week goes away, the whole time is wasted. So these are certain basic things I thought I should tell you from your examination perspective as such. Now, the other area which once again I would like to focus is that we don't want any great English presentation. Now, you write your own language. I differ on this issue on other faculties. You don't have to repeat what is given in the study material. The points only you have to write. We don't expect any Shakespeare's English to be presented there. You write your own language. What we want is simple, presentable business English, but relevant points. The focus must be on certain points. For example, I'll just take one small example. The word insane, the word person to be declared of unsound mind cannot be substituted with the word insane, because unsound mind is a legal situation, insanity is a medical situation. So it is possible that when you try to substitute certain words, you may not convey the real meaning, and therefore you may tend to lose certain marks on that. So therefore, keeping those aspects in mind, I would only say don't unnecessarily spend time trying to by heart study material or some other questions. Concepts are only important. There are times where same question is given for 5 marks, same question is given for 2 marks. So the answer which in the material they have written for 5 marks is irrelevant when you write it for 2 marks. So you have to use a discretion, a judicious discretion. That's very important. We don't want introductions. We don't want conclusions. Your answer itself is straight. Point-wise answers with relevant theory is what we expect from the students as such. So I think most of the areas are covered. You are at final level. Have confidence. The key for success is no selective preparation, no fear, hard work. Continuous hard work is what you have to do. These are certain basic things. There is no magic. We don't have any magic wand. If you follow all these guidelines, you will get through. And intelligence is no issue at final level. We are all born intelligent. Every Indian, in my opinion, is born intelligent. Since you already cleared IPCC and the inter level, now final is the issue. Intelligence is never an issue. Therefore, you have to focus. You have to concentrate. Don't leave any particular topic. Just focus on the subject. Automatically, things will be quite easy. Don't depend on choice. Choice you can decide only when you sit across in the examination. At that time, you can take a decision regarding choice. So, I wish you once again the succession of success in your examination, and no second attempt for us. We will all get through. We will get through. We should get through in the first attempt only. Wish you all the succession of success in your life. I once again thank the SICASA, SARC of the Institute for making this wonderful arrangements and also giving me an opportunity to speak and interact with the students. God bless you all. Thank you very much.